York who still haven't figured out what we're talking about. Camtel is an interesting sponsor, I think. They make videos. Now you're saying, big deal, anyone can make a video. No. This is a professional video for your business. Let's say you're doing a sales presentation. You need a video for sales, for marketing, for training, whatever. This tape will explain. This tape will help you communicate with people better. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's where you're doing a trade show. You have a new product you want to unveil.
Right.
Do you want to have somebody standing there giving a spot synopsis of what it is? Or do you want to have a little informative film that's very entertaining and will keep people's interest and inform them about your new product?
Now, I'll tell you why I like Camtel. Why you should choose Camtel to make your video. First of all, they'll come in and give you a free storyboard. So you're not risking anything. You can see exactly. Imagine having a meeting with a guy and he comes in and gives you a free storyboard. All little pictures drawn out exactly what you're going to get. And if you don't like it, tell them, just blow them off. It'd be kind of cool to have a meeting just to see what the guy comes up with. And if you like it, they make a very affordable video. Call Camtel. Let me give you the number if you're a businessman. And have a meeting with them today. And let them come over and talk to you about your problems. And then they'll come back with a free storyboard. And they do free updates on the video, customization. Give them a call, 1-800-777-TELL, T-E-L-L. That's 1-800-777-TELL for your no-cost customized video. See what Camtel has done for other companies, 1-800-777-TELL.
94 WYSP.
You need relief after a hard day on the job, so join your co-workers at the 94 WYSP After
Morning Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Stern.
Do me a favor, stay out of Washington. Nobody wants you down there.
Howard, people do want us down there. We've been down there for a lot of special things.
You know, Lisa, you guys have been getting a lot of adverse publicity lately.
Oh, we have?
Yeah, nobody likes you all of a sudden. I think I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. I'm sick of sticking up for you guys. Hasn't got me anywhere.
Seems that you're alone, Howard.
Yeah. And what are you doing in Los Angeles?
Well, I came out here because I've been getting some inquiries in the entertainment field, so I thought I would come out here and check them out.
Are you modeling?
Uh-huh.
What are you modeling, berets?
What, are people saying, who is Lisa Sliwa? And so she said, I'll come out and introduce myself.
What do you mean you're getting inquiries? Who inquired? Charlie's Angels again?
No, Howard. These are real TV producers, real film directors.
You can't act.
Howard, you don't know that I can't act.
I know you can't act.
How do you know that?
Well, she's been acting like she's happy with Curtis, right?
I mean, that's right. I've been acting like I've been happily married.
Believe me, you're happy with him, believe me.
Howard.
He's like the perfect guy for you.
I mean, Howard, look at how far you got with no talent. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You're already in 3 cities.
How can you be married to that cement head? Curtis.
I don't know, Howard.
I hear your sister's real cute, too. Gary was just in here talking about her.
Gary's got a thing for my sister.
Yeah, well.
Oh, he's free, Lisa.
He's free, but he has bad teeth. Hey, but Lisa.
Yes, Howard.
I don't mean to be insulting.
Okay.
Because I really do care about you.
Yeah,
I think you're doing great work with the Guardian Angels. I believe in all the work you guys do. Don't get me wrong. But you're not an actress.
Howard,
I've never seen that. I know it. First of all, I don't know if I should say this. She's going to get insulted.
Have we ever seen Lisa?
Wait, Lisa, hold on one second. Just let me put you on hold for a second. She has a speech impediment.
Say something about that.
Think I could?
Yeah.
All right, Lisa.
Yes, Howard.
Robin thinks it wouldn't be so insulting if I told you had a speech impediment.
I have a speech impediment?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you also have a very regional accent.
Yes,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not a speech impediment. Maybe it's a regional accent. She comes from Mongolia.
Yeah, but that didn't stop a lot of other people, Howard. Plus,
put it this way. No, put it this way, Lisa. As
Have
a
you
model,
ever seen her as a guardian angel? Yeah, Charlie.
Yes, Charlie. Look, I don't see you modeling anywhere. I don't see you acting anywhere. You know what you do? You make a
Howard,
good bully. You're a good bully. You're a good bully.
You want my agent from Elite to send you over some of my modeling pictures?
Yes, I do.
This way you can see what I do.
I want to see it.
Since you don't believe
I never saw you in one ad.
Do.
I never saw you in one ad except for berets.
Howard, do you read women's fashion catalogs?
Yes, I do.
Oh, come
I like to look at women's feet. Why don't you just put yourself out of your misery, come here and make love to me?
Oh, please.
Just one time. Why don't you and I meet in a hotel and just do it?
Oh, yeah, that's really going to do wonders for my career.
Come on, I'll help you out.
Oh, Howard, yes. You can help me out so much.
Do you want to make love to a sensitive man?
Who? Not you.
No, but in all seriousness, I can't imagine. What kind of roles are you going out for?
Howard, it doesn't take too much of a stretch of the imagination.
Well, see, I could have seen her. I got a perfect role for her.
Yeah.
The Nancy Allen role in RoboCop. She could have played that.
No one's going to hire her for that.
Why not?
Because they want someone who doesn't have an identifiable... First of all, they tried to get Melissa Gilbert for that role. She turned it down.
Yeah.
They're looking for a known
Oh,
actress.
yeah, Little House on the Prairie was real preparation for RoboCop.
Well, what have you done?
Howard,
You haven't done any acting.
I don't think you understand. I told you, I've been studying acting for almost a year.
Well,
For the
studying,
past
you're a little
couple of
old to start studying acting. You start
No,
when
I'm not. People
you're
are...
in your 40s, for God's sake.
Oh, no, I'm in my 50s. I mean, I'm
No, really,
a
how
late
old are you?
bloomer.
How old are you?
Howard, I'm 30 years old.
Tell your husband to get a good job, settle down on Long Island.
I don't want to settle down on
What
Long
is your-
Island. Then we'd have to be in the
You have
same area as you.
You have no resume for acting. What does your resume say? 2 karate classes
Howard.
and 4 street fights? What
Howard,
kind of
let me-
thing is that? Would you like to be an actor? Yeah, I took karate class.
Howard, let me ask you something.
Yeah, I kicked
Why
a
do people
drug
get a-
dealer's ass. I mean, what is
I
that?
went to the
Howard.
Robert Chambers trial.
Yeah.
Howard.
We harassed Robert Chambers, but and I
Wait a
waved a
minute.
pair of women's panties around on his front door.
Listen, since when do people get acting jobs based upon talent or previous experience? I mean, come on. It's not like you're trying to become an investment banker or a lawyer.
Well, you know what I'm saying. You've never had a role, and then you're out there. Now, who
Howard,
are you
I've
talking
had tons
with?
of experience on
Who do
television.
you interview with out
Tons
there?
of experience on television, tons of experience in front of crowds, giving speeches, giving presentations. People have been sending me scripts for the last 2 years asking me to audition. for
Well,
things.
please. Imagine a producer. He says, he goes, okay, what do you do? Well, I had karate. Okay, and I had Guardian Angels. Okay.
I speak.
Well, that's very, and then the guy goes, well, that's very, and you lecture. Yeah, I said, that's very interesting. Well, we have a role here. We have a role, but I see you're a little deficient in sit-ins. You haven't done a lot of sit-ins. So,
How many
or be-ins.
arrests?
Yeah, you only have 3 arrests here. We need someone with 8 arrests and 5 squabbles with Mayor Koch. I mean, you're good for what you're doing. You're a crime fighter.
Howard.
Get in here and fight some crime.
We need somebody who looks good in a T-shirt. Is that what?
Right.
You can get
She doesn't
into-
even look good in that
Oh,
T-shirt.
stop it.
Howard, you know what? Why do you even waste your time talking to me if you hate me so much?
Hate you. I love you. I'm wild for you.
No.
I sit and I condone everything you do. I applaud all of your hard work. But what
Yeah,
do you
right.
need with this acting? Stop kidding yourself.
Howard, I'm not kidding myself.
With this
People
acting. You should
invited
be-
me out here.
Who invited you? Tell me.
I'm not going to get into it.
Give me
because
the name of it.
The more I get into it, the more you're going to put me down. And I don't want negative energy around something that I'm trying to do. And because right now you and Robin are just involved in Lisa and Curtis bashing.
Oh, no, we're not. Now,
wait a
stop
second.
that.
Now, hold on a second.
What
How
are
dare
you talking about?
How dare you say that? You gave me an award. I'm your friend.
Yeah, right. And then the minute
No, I just don't want to
hang
see
up-
you getting hurt out there. I'm worried about that you'll fall into a trap out there and some producer will take advantage of you. That's all I'm worried
Howard,
about.
Howard,
You're
look,
so desperate for this acting.
I'm not desperate for it.
What's going to
Howard,
happen is he's going to get you on the couch, and you're
Howard, look,
going to
if
give in because it's one big role, and you're going to start having sex with guys for roles.
Howard, if I could survive...
I'm worried about you, honey.
No, Howard, let
What's the
me
matter
tell you
with you?
something.
You know I got a little thing going for you.
Howard, if I could survive doing your show at 6 o'clock in the morning in that studio with you, with Robin behind the safety
All right,
glass...
hold on a second. Just hold on 1 second. Look, I've obviously hurt her feelings. Let me just watch this.
Soothe the
Can
ruffled feathers there.
I say the truth?
Howard,
Lisa, can I say the truth?
It's your
Because I got to
own
break for
opinion.
commercial. I want to say
it's
something
not
now.
the truth. It's your opinion.
I want to say something.
Howard, I don't want to hear it.
I think that you do have a natural ability to act. When you hosted that TV show, even though it was a lame TV show, you guys really made things happen. I believe that you will go on to be a great actress. I believe that you will go on to, I don't say you're going to be in Meryl Streep roles. Who knows? But maybe you will.
Howard, that's not
I believe
my
with
goal.
your attitude, exactly. I believe with your attitude, you will go on to a huge modeling career and a huge acting career.
Howard, please.
And I believe that you are one of the most delightful personalities on the scene.
I could see her as like, a mother
what is
in
this,
a series
Tia?
like Alf or something.
Yeah,
like
an
that.
Alf in a puppet suit. That would be good.
Howard,
Lisa, Nancy Sirianni is laughing at you, Jackie's girlfriend.
Howard, at least I don't have to hide behind a radio microphone.
All right, okay, I have a big nose and I'll never be on TV. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Lisa. I'm negotiating now with 3 different television people.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now that I am up for a dramatic series. Maybe you've heard of The Equalizer? I am going to be appearing in The Equalizer, probably. They're writing a role for me as we speak. And, no, I'm being serious.
Well, what am I supposed to say? I'm terribly impressed.
And what's going to happen is I'm going to recommend to the producers of Equalizer that you appear in this with me.
Howard,
Because I want to see you act.
Howard, I think you have been an inspiration to many, many men.
Thank you. And let me say, I also heard about Curtis's offering, or Curtis has been offered a role in the new Sigourney Weaver movie to play a gorilla. There's a big ape.
Well, I think that's excellent casting.
Gorillas in the Mist. My wife wanted to go see that. I said, I wouldn't go to see that if you paid me $1 million.
Good in the New York.
I don't want to see it.
So, Howard, he's in the New York City version, Gorillas in the Subway.
Yes.
Yes. Imagine an ape in a beret. They had to throw him off the set. He insisted on wearing that stupid beret with all the things on it.
Yeah, that unscrews. It doesn't just pull off.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Lisa, listen, we do love you, and you know we're pulling for you out there.
Yeah, right.
Friends
like you.
All right, goodbye, Lisa.
Goodbye. Congratulations.
Thank you for congratulating
Thank
us.
you. So,
Bye-bye.
thank you. She don't stand a chance out there. She's no actress. She thinks she's an actress. That's like Jackie's wife. Thinks she's an actress.
Well, if Nancy can get into a computer,
Yeah.
I suppose Lisa can act.
You know, Lisa says, well, she's an elite model. Well, big deal.
Yeah.
Jackie's wife is a Ford model.
A Model T Ford is what she
Yes, she is. But I'll tell you something. It's a lot of the women today delude themselves. Everyone wants to be a model.
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone. I'm the only guy in America not married to a model. I'm the only one left in show business that doesn't have a model.
I tell you.
I mean, listen, I read a lot. Listen, Robin, you know this, and you can back me up. I read 9-10 magazines a week, conservatively. I read newspapers every day. I watch television constantly, to the point that I avoid my family. I've never once seen this girl in anything. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. She says she's supporting her and Curtis with this.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of things.
No.
I really don't. I have to be honest with you. I saw her do one segment of the morning show with Regis and
Right.
Kathy Lee where they tried different hats on her. or
Believe me,
something.
I'm sure Curtis... Yeah, right, they tried hats on her. But I'm sure Curtis is so sick of her running around. I don't have to worry. I know my wife will never get off her ass and do anything. She just sits around. At least I don't have some wise-ass wife running around with a beret.
Well, at
talking
least you
about
don't
karate.
have to be defending her when you know
Exactly.
she's never going to make anything
Yeah.
out of what she's doing.
My wife's a realist. I mean, it's embarrassing to have... I mean, Jackie can admit to this in private, not on the air. That it's embarrassing having a wife who's running around and thinks she's in show business, but meanwhile she's working at the planting fields at the Arboretum. All right, listen, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
94 WYSP is throwing another Friday Night Live party starting at 6 this Friday, live from the Chestnut Cabaret. I'm David Dye. It's a rock and roll party every Friday, complete with free buffet and free admission till 8. Be part of the Friday night tradition, in person or live on 94 WYSP, Philadelphia's classic rock and roll.
Good morning.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah?
2 karate classes and 4... Oh, no, that's Lisa Sliwa's resume. I got the wrong resume. Oh, look at the list of restaurants he's worked at. But he's filet mignon, prime rib of beef, veal chop, Brazil's veal chop with wine and chestnut sauce.
Well, it sounds interesting. Not the normal fare.
Well, you're a seafood eater.
Yes.
Brazil's has seafood for you, too. Swordfish with lemon peppercorn sauce. Swordfish teriyaki sauce. I can't describe to you how great the seafood is, because for me, I like fresh seafood. It is just incredibly good. And Bruce is a baker, and he has one of the best bakeries in the country, so the desserts are incredible.
Wow, okay. Well, that's it. This week I'm going.
Duck, medallions of chicken and Danish lobster tails, pasta of the day, sweet chicken marinade, chicken scarpiarello.
You always go too far on the menu to get to something you can't pronounce.
And all I want to say about Bruzel's is, could he do me a favor and not advertise anymore?
He's been hot and heavy, you know?
Believe me, I don't need his advertising, because every commercial gets analyzed and reanalyzed. It's terrible when a friend advertises. Anyway, you know my motto. Go to Bruzel's, get there fast, and get Bruce the owner off my ass. That's it. 516-482-6600. Bruzel's, 451 Middle Neck Road in Great Neck. 516-482-6600. Call now. There's a big thing going on there tonight, some kind of complimentary hors d'oeuvres. 845 92.3 K-Rock WYSP. We're doing the news. Emo is going to be calling in a few minutes, Robin.
Emo Phillips.
Leslie West, all the big names.
All right. Well, Howard, did you see 2020 on Friday?
I have it on tape.
You do, and you have not watched it yet?
I did not watch it. Of course, I was busy with the games on Sunday and the John Lennon thing.
Do you realize that Iron Mike has already gone on a rampage because of what happened on 2020 on Friday, and you don't know what happened?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
well, I do have tape of it, though.
Okay. Because I sat there and I said, I don't know how he's sitting there so calmly while this is going on.
I don't understand why he just didn't knock the crap out of her right there on camera.
If he was the maniac she was describing, he'd have taken her and thrown her over the couch while she was sitting there.
But now I see why Mike Tyson hates his wife and his mother-in-law so much. First of all, what was his mother-in-law doing there in the first place?
She lives there practically.
Why is she living with them?
She's the glue that keeps that marriage together. According to Robin, yes.
Tell Robin to put the glue back in her pants and get her mother out of there. And,
this was so embarrassing.
She's like a threesome thing.
This was so embarrassing. The mother sits there and says, and she looks real motherly. She's got that real warmth, coming across. And she talks about how she's become a surrogate mother to Mike, and she just wants him to do well.
I heard a rumor that Tyson, during the interview, was bolted to the couch.
Maybe that's what. Yeah, they had his shoulder or his elbow bolted, and that's why it looked like it was around Robin's shoulders at the time. She was sitting there talking about how frightening he is. But there was one point at which Barbara, doing her in-depth interview, asked Mike how the two of them fell in love. What was it that drew him to Robin?
Yeah.
And he said, well, one night we'd gone out, it was our second date, and I fell asleep on her leg, and I started to drool.
Yeah.
And she thought it was cute.
Oh, God. I think she thought it was cute that he had like $43 million in the bank already.
Right, yeah, and he drooled.
Well, I think this Robin Givens is a bright girl, because now when she goes to divorce him, she will just show the judge that videotape about how he terrorizes her. And
the list of police reports, because after his tirade yesterday, of course, they called the police. And the police had to come out and investigate this domestic squabble.
And what type of woman, quite frankly, if she really cared and loved a guy, would go on television and announce his problems to the world? Wouldn't she, like...
Yeah, you try to take care of those in private and try to keep it away from the public. But no, the worst part of this interview was when Barbara says, I talked to Ruth Roper, and I talked to Bill Caton, and I talked to Mike, and then all of a sudden, Robin Givens shows up and tells me I'm not getting the real story. I'd better interview her.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, she comes right to Barbara and says, wait a minute, you're not getting the whole story. You better talk to me.
Yeah.
And she sits down and starts telling about Mike being chased by security guards to keep from dragging women into garages and...
it's a mess.
All kinds of things. I never heard a wife talk like this.
Well, she loved him for drooling. Imagine if he peed in bed. She'd rape him.
Oh, my God. Yes, she'd be all over. She'd be really hot.
Oh, God, you're turning me on. You're turning on, my world champion, man.
So anyway, yesterday, apparently, he finally had enough. He blew up about the whole 2020 deal because he sat there with his arm around her looking like a whipped puppy while she talked about how frightening he was and how he shook her and struck her and all this other stuff. And so he finally... It dawned on him that this wasn't so good for him, I guess, on Sunday.
Meanwhile, he's a despicable man, Mike Tyson. I mean, he grew up, and I know he grew up under adverse conditions, but he talks about mugging people.
And stealing purses.
Stealing purses, and he's, and let's face it, he's a role model.
Yeah.
And, he's a role model for a lot of ghetto kids and stuff, and that's unfortunate because he's really a bad role model.
Well,
But,
the whole thing was first of all, Barbara Walters did the typical interview with him where she got the tour of the house.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful house, very tastefully decorated. And she said,
Right.
well, who did all this? And Mike says, I did it all myself.
Really?
Give me a break. I don't believe that for a minute. But
He mugs people, he steals purses, he beats people up. And that's just in his own house, Robin. It's
true. That's true. But he started, this tastefully decorated house. He was throwing the furniture through the window yesterday. That tasteful furniture was flying through the window because he was so upset. And Ruth and Robin apparently had to flee the house. They jumped into a car and drove to a gas station from which they called the police. And then Mike jumped into his Bentley and drove into Manhattan, and nobody's seen him since. So
Now, why would you stay with this? Why would you possibly stay in the same house with a guy who was this crazy? It's like, going to Amityville Horror and like the white people staying there, like Eddie Murphy talked about.
Right.
Amityville Horror, get out, and then they just stay.
Yeah, they say, put the couch over there.
Yeah, well, why would Ruth Roper and Robin Givens stay with this guy if he was so horrible? The odds are he's not that bad.
Well, everybody says that, these people are setting him up. They try to keep him away from his family. They change his phone number every week so his family and friends can't get to him. They're kind of isolating him, and it looks like they're driving him crazy. That's all I can tell. But nobody knows why anyone would give such an interview. But that's what happened on 2020, and Mike apparently blew up about it.
What else is going on?
Mitch Green, the guy who got into the street fight with Mike about a month ago, he was arrested again for the third time. It's like if something's happening to Mike, they must be on the same biorhythms or something.
Right.
And Mitch was out driving last night, and he was so drunk he slammed his car into another parked car and was too drunk to move the car at that point. So the police approached, and they said the smell of alcohol was incredible. So, of course, he was arrested, charged with drunken driving, and had his license suspended for the 54th time. So, anyway, he's just out and about doing whatever he likes and getting into trouble as much as Mike is. Joel Steinberg, the man who's accused of killing his 6-year-old daughter.
Isn't that the Grease Man's real name, Joel Steinberg?
No, that's Doug Trachtenberg.
Doug Trachtenberg, a Grease Man.
Yeah, his trial is set to get underway. Pre-trial hearings begin tomorrow or today, and there are a few pre-trial motions that they're going to try to get set. Joel would like to have the judge in the case thrown out because he thinks the judge is prejudiced against him. Jury selection is expected to start October 11th, and there's still some question as to what Hedda Nussbaum's role will be in this case. She's the live-in lover who was there the whole time all of this abuse was going on and who apparently was a victim of that abuse herself. She was talking to the DAs last week, but they're still trying to work out a deal with her. They're hoping that she'll testify against Joel, so we'll have to see about that. The man who owned the National Enquirer died, Howard.
I think my father worked for him.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I think my father got into... I think that guy owned this radio station for a while.
Generoso Pope Jr.?
Generoso Pope Jr. with you. Used to be my name on the air. Generoso Pope.
Yeah, well, he died yesterday of a heart attack.
And he owned the National Enquirer.
Yeah, he was 61 years old.
And he bought it for like $22, and he made it into a multi-million-dollar empire.
Yeah, it was just a local thing. It was the New York Enquirer or something like that, and he turned it into a national newspaper. And in the late 60s, realizing that, a lot of newsstands were closing down, he toned it down so it would be acceptable to supermarkets. And it had the highest circulation in the nation.
Generoso. Nice name. Yeah. Isn't that where the Cartwrights live? It's a Ponderoso.
Ponderosa.
Generosa.
Yeah. But yeah, he just dropped dead of a heart attack.
I thought his name was Generalissimo.
No.
Pope. I thought he was like a general. Like an Italian general or something.
No, just a weird, funny name.
Because my father used to come home and say, yeah, Generoso. Because we used to hear that name a lot in the house. Yeah.
Well, he named his son after him. He's survived by a wife and Generoso III, Maria, Michelle, and Paul.
I read something about him in the Enquirer.
What?
That he really didn't die and he's on a UFO. Generoso Pope.
Yes.
Yeah, with Elvis. All right, we got to take a break. 854 92.3 K-Rock at WYSP. When we come back, more news. Also, I think a phone call welcoming us into Washington from Emo coming up.
All right.
Right after these words.
94 WYSP, where the Monday midday show awaits you right after Howard. On the Cots Comedy Corner, we'll feature Bill Cosby. And on Noontime Nuggets, we'll feature your suggestions for 60s and early 70s classic rock and roll. Be the first through when you hear Lovely to See You by the Moody Blues and claim a 14-karat gold nugget courtesy of Robbins 8th and Walnut. This is Randy Kotz. Join me middays on 94 WYSP. Howard Stern all morning, classic rock and roll all day.
Good morning, it's 8:56. I'm Steve Trevelise with a 94 WYSP update. 61 degrees, 90 forecast. Expect some rain today, high of 69. Sunny tomorrow and in the upper 70s. Once again, 61 at WYSP. Our Sunoco traffic update, 202 north, slow 15 minutes. Chesterbrook to the expressway. Schuylkill eastbound, 15 minutes. Girard to 30th. Schuylkill westbound, minor delay at South Walt Whitman, slow the length. On the 94 scoreboard, the Eagles have found a place kicker but lost a receiver. Luis Zendejas came up with 12 points. Including the longest kicks of the year. The Birds beat Houston 32-23. But Mike Quick is out 8 weeks with a broken leg. Kenny Jackson comes out of retirement to replace him. Next week, it's the Giants at the Vet Monday night. The same Giants who held on to beat the Redskins 24-23. They share first place with the, yes folks, Phoenix Cardinals, who beat the undefeated Rams 41-27. Tonight, the Saints are favored 6.5 to beat the Dallas Cow Slime at New Orleans. Houston fired Hal Lanier. Astros were talking. The Phils lost their last game of the season 3-1 to Montreal. Cardinals assistant Nick Oliva expected to be named manager of the Phils, according to today's Inquirer. The Olympics ended with the flag being passed to Barcelona, Spain, the site of the 92 games. All in all, we won 94 medals and made Matt Biondi and Greg Louganis household names for a while. Just so you know, the space shuttle comes down today. A good excuse for a break at work since it'll be televised this afternoon. A 16-year-old boy was killed Sunday morning when he hitched a ride on an eastbound SEPTA L train by hanging onto a window. More tragedy, a one-car accident killed an off-duty state police investigator and her son, who was 10 months old.
I know. All right, we'll see you, Emo.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Boy.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Emo, ladies and gentlemen. Checking in. I feel like Letterman with all the guests. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Emo. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell's with the ladies and gentlemen?
I don't know.
I'm just charged up. I'm not myself today because I'm very excited. Very excited about Washington.
Well, there's something else to be excited about. The fact that John Lennon now has a star on the Walk of Fame. That star was dedicated this weekend, and Yoko Ono was there to address the crowd.
I hate to sound selfish, but don't you think I'm a little more important than John Lennon? And I don't have a Hollywood square or whatever that is?
Well, sometimes you just have to die before they'll recognize you.
That's it. Well, I'd rather live. Screw the star.
Which would you rather have, your life or the star?
That's true.
But anyway, Yoko was talking to the crowd, and I think we have a bit of her little speech.
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, we do.
You know, I always love to hear Yoko address a crowd. She's so charismatic.
And she makes so much sense. I haven't heard these tapes yet,
Just
but
wait till you hear this.
I'm sure that she makes no sense. I saw Sean on 60 Minutes.
Oh, yeah?
He's got a very strange haircut happening. I guess that's Yoko's influence.
I don't know.
God, I wish I could adopt that kid and do that for
I think it's
John.
too late. She's been influencing him for years now.
I just think if I could have gotten a hold of him at 5 years old. I mean, as soon as John died, we should have all stepped in. I mean, you know, the country can do that. Just step in and take someone's child from them if we think that they're wacky. But we all sat back and let it happen.
Yeah.
So Sean now has a wacky haircut, and it's unbelievable.
Wears those granny glasses like his dad.
And do me a favor, if Yoko ever gets a star on Hollywood Boulevard, I want you to kill me very slowly. I want you to boil me in my own juices.
Believe me, there'll be people jumping into the pot ahead of you.
Yeah, right. Head first. All right, here we go. Yoko. Addressing the crowd.
John would have been thrilled, and he would have loved it. And this star, hopefully, will go on for many, many centuries to come.
And so will John's residual checks.
And she'll be here to collect.
Yeah.
People to come and touch John's spirit. Thank you very much. I love you.
I love you.
What'd you say to me, Ron?
No, I was...
I think you're coming on to
I've been
that.
suppressing all this
I
time.
see. Let's see what else is going on here.
To me, it means that there's so many beautiful people still in the world who wished well for John.
Wait till people start spitting and urinating on the star. Those stars, man, I never want to star in Hollywood
Somebody
Boulevard.
else taking out the sleep on.
I know. Little bums sleeping all over it. And you got to maintain your star, too. That's the whole thing. You got to pay a fee to have it maintained. Yeah, cleaned up and stuff, etc.
And who still love John and made this happen. And I'm very thankful to them. And also that in the future, for many, many years to come, that this particular star will be enjoyed by so many people in the world, and they will come to see it here, and they will get the benefit of it.
Yeah, right.
I don't get that.
That star does nothing but lay there on the ground.
No, that star does nothing but help the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. There's benefits. What?
It was a very emotional moment. As I said before, that it flashed in my mind immediately.
In 60 Minutes, they started showing the scenes of like John playing piano and him messing around with Sean when he was real young, and my heart started aching because they feel real bad for him. You know, they missed his son growing up and all that.
Right. Yeah.
But then Yoko's. Then they flashed to Yoko sitting in the studios at Abbey Road, and I just said, "Oh." Now I don't feel bad. I mean, I feel bad he's gone, but she just snatched me back to reality.
Yeah. Well, listen to this. I thought this was particularly crass.
She broke up the Beatles, you know.
Of course.
Of the time that John and I worked in Hollywood, and John was pointing out and reading all the names and wondering why he wasn't there.
What was that? John was wondering why he wasn't there.
No, I like that laugh she has at the end of each thing she says. Now, let's cut her some slack today. All right, it's 6 past 9 o'clock. Oh, God, the poor woman didn't even do anything that bad on the tape. All right, 6 past 9 o'clock at 92.3 K-Rock, WYSP, and WJFK. What else is in the news, Rob?
And one last thing, the Mets and the Dodgers in L.A. tomorrow. It's the start of the playoffs. The regular season is over in baseball.
All right.
And now it's playoff time.
Let's go, Mets, go.
That's it.
That's it.
We haven't even gotten one of those Mets jingle, you know, those songs that always come out when the Mets.
Yeah, how come no single? How come no record?
Yeah.
Some World Series fever record. I hear our afternoon man, Steve Capon, will be getting exclusive reports from Bobby Ojeda.
Yes.
The man who cut his finger off gardening. Him and I think the plan was to get Steve associated with a popular New York figure.
And Bobby O came through for us.
Yeah. So Steve sent them a bunch of signed baseballs.
Right.
From all his fans and stuff. I had even had to sign one of the baseballs. I signed it. You schmuck, how could you cut your finger off?
Did you really?
Yeah. I said, Bobby O, you schmuck, how can you cut your own finger off? Why does a guy who makes $1 million a year pitching
with his hands
use his hands for gardening? I mean,
with dangerous electrical equipment.
Right. Why not use your brains and hire a gardener for $30 a week or whatever it costs? Because I saw one report of Bobby O's house in Port Washington with and the actual bushes he was clipping. And they made a point of saying how nicely groomed they were, but that at least it wasn't in vain. He groomed his bushes nicely. They were nicely sculpted.
What, do you have little rabbits on the lawn? Was he that good?
Yeah, little flamingos. So,
you know how people cut those bushes to look like animals?
Yeah, well, he does that. He was sculpting the bushes. Let's take a call from Washington. I'm very excited about this. Somebody dig up all those hedges and put up a fence.
Yeah.
Good morning, Howard.
Good morning.
Welcome to Washington.
Thank you.
Back again.
Back again.
I want to know what the Washington Post has against you.
What'd they do now?
Did you see the article in Friday's paper they did on you? The picture was 10 years old. You had glasses, a mustache, and bushy hair.
Good point. You know, I forgot about that. Over the weekend, I blocked that out. I thought that the Washington press in general, meaning the whole media, kind of tried to downplay me coming back.
Do you think Grease is paying him off? The Goose Man.
Grease. You guys really have gotten familiar with him in the past 5 years.
He's
Grease.
Like
what do you call him? Is that like his first name? Grease?
Well, they don't really want to give him the full title of Mr. Grease.
Why just call him his name? Doug Tract. What kind of name is Grease?
For years, they never told us who he was.
Doug Tractberg.
They never told us. It was like, this is a mystery man, and he lives somewhere out in D.C.
Yeah, he's a real mystery. He's a mystery. He picked up his wife on the request lines like every other disc jockey. And you guys are just like right into it. Tell you, it didn't take Washington long to accept him.
Well,
you guys just go to any disc jockey.
No.
I thought for sure, when I heard that the guy's name was Greaseman, I said for sure he won't do well in Washington. Nobody would listen to some douche who calls himself Greaseman, some dick boy.
Well, I listen to classical a lot because he kind of got me away from rock and roll.
He forced you into classical music.
He forced me down the...
Well, that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
I want to know, though.
Didn't that guy play country music at the radio station they hired him from? He was a country
I think
DJ.
So. Yeah, he was a country guy.
And then they put him on a rock
He
station.
doesn't have enough rhythm for country.
And then they put him on a rock station, and everybody just sort of accepted him.
Telling those stupid country-type stories.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. I was going through a waiting room the other day where they had a television on, and lo and behold, Hollywood Squares, Howard Stern, bottom center row. Is that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, well, see? We're talking night and day here. Washington Post owes you an apology.
I'm not sure I know what the logic is in this conversation.
She's just saying she couldn't tell who was you, the picture in the Post or the guy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Square.
Yeah. Why couldn't she just say it like that? Well, maybe that's why.
Not as lucid as
maybe that's why we're in communications.
Hey,
Oh, so yeah. I mean, I look handsome, right?
Well, yeah. Right out of Kiss. Yeah. You look like a rock and roll person. I mean, you didn't look like Sean Lennon. Who does his hair anyhow?
Oh, boy. The love affair with Washington is wearing off rather quickly.
Yeah, you know, those callers don't sound as good as I used to think they did.
Well, I've never been to New York, so I wouldn't know. This is my first time in the big city anyhow. I'm from the farm. What can you expect?
All right. Hey, listen, thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. She brings up a good point, though.
What?
I just couldn't get a word in edgewise with her. She was a little too perky for me. But the point is that the Washington media kind of downplayed this whole thing. Like, we went to all the trouble setting up a press conference and doing the whole thing, and then they just kind of blew off the story. They didn't even do any quotes from the press conference hardly and all these news stories. I mean, I was doing a lot of funny stuff for an hour and a half. And they dredge up the same article. You know what I mean? I think they just... I mean, I think it's a fairly important story in Washington.
Well, when you think that, you know, when we were there the last time, you used to get front page.
Yeah.
And when you left, you got front page.
Yeah, you would think that...
coming back, you'd get the front page.
But, you know, they don't want to look like they're doing a free advertisement.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to look like they're playing into my hands.
They were just only camped out on our lawns. They couldn't move.
Right. But, you know, it's kind of weird. I was kind of disappointed in the coverage, but screw it. I don't need them. It's not like I need a newspaper article. Because even Ken Stevens, the general manager down there, was saying that you better come down in person and do a personalized interview with the Washington Post, or we won't get a big story. I said, who cares? Who cares about the guy in the Washington Post?
They'll do the big story eventually.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a big story when we're number one. And even if they don't, I don't care. I don't need them. I don't need the Washington Post. Screw them. The media's never been kind to me.
Unfortunately, this is a problem. The Washington Post used to be kind.
Right.
But they, too, are sheep-like in that they read what happens or what comes out of New York, and then they say, well, here he comes again, and they act as if they didn't know you were such a bad boy.
Yeah, right. They love me in Washington. In fact, the Washington Post used to give me very favorable press, but now I guess they just jump in line with the rest of the journalists.
It's amazing.
Well, the jerk-offs out of Journalism 101 from Columbia. All the Columbia grads who got their...
Yeah, but they didn't have New York reporters telling them this was bad. They thought it was good.
Yeah, but now it's bad. And I know what the guy from the Washington Post, he's just playing a stupid game. He was like, well, Howard won't give me a personal interview. I'll just stick it in the back of the radio column. And, you know, it's like, oh, why play a game, though? Why not put out a good paper that people want to read? You know, if it's an interesting story, people would, you know, it certainly was more interesting than anything else they had on page 1. They stuck me back on page 17 in the radio column. I think it was major news that my radio show was coming back. I mean, maybe I have too much self-importance, but I don't know. Maybe I have this attitude that I'm more important than I am, but I think in Washington we were pretty important.
Yes, we were.
I understood when we were in Philly, they made a bigger deal that we were coming. You're on the air.
Howard Stern?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Howard, welcome to Washington. Robin, welcome to Washington. You are so sorely needed in this town.
Thank you.
Howard, I'm a great person to talk to because I'm from New Jersey. I've been listening to you from the days of NBC, and then unfortunately I made the choice to come to D.C. to go to law school. And I came up here, and what do I see on TV, newspapers? The grease man, the grease man. I hear he's the guy who replaced you, so I said, let me give him an objective listen. So I listen, and I listen, and I listen, and I hear nothing, Howard. Nothing. This guy makes soupy sales. Seems very funny.
Yeah, well, there's not much competition there, and I will take personal. That's the guy. That's the guy they gave all our money to.
Yep.
And it's just like, hey, they could have just paid us, but Goff couldn't pay us the money. The general
they had
manager.
the money to give him because we made it.
Yeah, we made a lot of money for that radio station. And then when we asked to participate in the profits, they couldn't let us.
It's absurd.
The Benders couldn't step in and see what was going on. I hate everyone associated with that radio station, and we will destroy them. If there is a God, we will destroy them.
They had two stations in the toilet. They simulcast us AM and FM, thinking that we weren't strong enough to pull in an audience on one station.
Right.
And we totally commandeered the market.
Plus, I had to put up with a meeting every day with this Goff, this general manager, who, by the way, hired a program director after he took him in his steam room to see him naked, which was weird. And the guy's not gay or anything. It's just like he felt the criteria was... He came into me and he says, I'm going to hire Don Davis because I went to the steam room with him and he took his clothes off and we talked man to man.
That's where you can talk to him.
That's where you can talk to a man in a steam room. Why is that? What do you need? Hot air? More hot air in the room?
Welcome, Jackie the Joke Man. Nice to have you in Washington, D.C. also.
There you go.
Hey, Howard, let me tell you, you don't know, it's like night and day. I worked in New Jersey over the summer. Every morning for 2.5 months, I wake up, I hear the genius Howard Stern. I come back to D.C., my clock radio is set to the Grease Man. The guy, he just is never funny. Never, ever funny.
That's right.
It's absurd, Howard Stern. It's absolutely absurd. Let me say one last thing. I saw Eddie Murphy live in Rutgers. I saw you live at Club Benet, and let me just say one thing, Howard. You are the funniest man in the United States of America.
Well, thank you.
Very nice.
And Howard, I flew home for one day.
This guy's doing great.
I'm telling you.
Howard, I flew home for one day.
Keep kissing my ass. This is going great.
You got it, Howard.
Yeah.
Howard, I flew home for one day 3 weeks ago. I listened to you, Howard, for 10 minutes on the way to the airport. What do I hear? I hear you calling up Popeye's Chicken looking for Jesse Jackson. If that's not comedy, I don't know what comedy is.
Say it. Say it.
You're the best, Howard.
Say it. Thank you, my friend.
Howard, best of luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, when we come back, let's call the Washington Post, ask them why they print that picture of me.
Yeah.
Let's call the mayor of Washington and ask him for a parade. Recreate that bit like we did the first day we went into Washington.
And when we come back, I think we'll be hearing from Leonard Marshall.
From the Giants.
From the New York Giants.
What's the matter with your voice?
I don't know. There it is. It's back.
No, it's not. Sounds muddy.
Wait, there it is? Is that it?
There it is. Oh. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
94 WYSP is on the verge of an extraordinary event.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game, and then the Giants won by 1 point.
Yeah, we got by. What have
you been doing, man?
Hey, working hard, trying to get back in the playing form. You know, I injured myself against Cleveland in the preseason, and my injury has just been taking a toll on me.
Hey, get that together, man.
I know, man.
You're so fragile for a big man.
Yeah, you're such a big man, and yet so delicate.
A pull muscle. How you like that?
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
Maybe because your wife pulled your muscle? A love muscle?
Yeah, maybe.
You don't use that during the game. That wouldn't affect
you wouldn't pull your love muscle during the game, would you, Leonard?
No, not your love muscle. No. I've been hit there before, but not pulled on it.
And I saw Leonard with LT.
Yeah.
And that whole thing.
How's LT doing?
He's doing great.
Stay away from him. I hear he does coke.
He's a bad influence.
He's a bad influence on you. I'm not kidding, man. Stay away from him. You got your whole future ahead of you.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Stay away from LT. One more time he snorts and he's out.
Yeah, he's getting cleaned up, man.
He's cleaned up. He's real cleaned up. Yeah, he looked real clean.
That golf therapy, I don't know about that.
You just stay away from him, all right?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a hell of an athlete, I'll tell you that much.
You were telling me he sells coke in the huddle?
You're bad, Howard.
What does he do? Wait a minute. Doesn't he get a little woozy when he sees the white lines that are on the field?
He's just sucking it with his nose.
You guys are bad.
But LT had a good game.
Yeah?
He had a good game.
Yeah, everybody had a good game. It was good. It was good. The Giants they're happening, man. And I know Leonard, and that's cool. I have to, I'll have to come sit with you in the dugout.
What dugout?
Just kidding. I'll have to come sit with you or something on the bench. Yeah, right. Bill Parcells has got a weight problem, though, man. He's getting very heavy.
Yeah?
He had, like, full breasts. And even the guy for the Redskins is real fat now.
Yeah.
Really? Because he used to be in shape.
What's his name?
It's that rubber chicken banquet circuit, you know?
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
He's got like a real paunch and breasts.
Yeah.
Not good, not good. Got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, Bill Parcells was wearing a real tight shirt yesterday, and like every minute he's like pulling at it. Like
I think it's stress. I think it's stress. He's got so much to worry about with his team.
Yeah.
Leonard's always injuring himself. LT can't keep his hands out of,
out of guys' pants.
What?
Well, the Super Bowl party, we got into some light S&M.
Oh, yeah. Some light S&M.
Yeah, man. Well, we miss you.
Hey, miss you guys, too.
And I'm glad you're having a good season, and thanks for welcoming us to Washington.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
All right, man.
Anytime.
And I want you to win every game.
All right, man.
Yeah, we don't want to see you at the Super Bowl party this year. We love you, but...
Can't be at this year. Howard, you give a party in Miami, then I'll come.
I'm there, man.
All right?
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.
That's the great Leonard Marshall. He's a real good guy. His wife is real nice. He's got a white woman. Leonard got himself a white woman. Not a bad-looking white woman, either.
She's very attractive. What are you talking about?
Not Christy Brinkley type.
No.
And he knows deep down inside, if he'd been a white football player, he would have like a Christy Brinkley.
Hey, some real model.
Right. But he's got the prize, the white wife. With his success, he's got the white wife.
Oh.
Let's face it.
You make a big deal. Maybe he couldn't find a black woman that he could relate to.
There's no black women around who need husbands. I can only
discuss it with
I could only walk downstairs and find 75 black women right outside right now.
Maybe he couldn't if he wasn't compatible.
Yeah.
He could have gotten a Robin Givens and been on 2020.
Yeah, that's true. I understand her parents are still not talking to her. Believe it or not. I'm being serious,
well, once they found out he had a job, I think.
Right. It's okay. They could almost accept him because he's a football player.
Yeah. It was like, well, if he's famous, then bring him home. But only on holidays.
And I don't want any calls from angry black people, all right? You guys
then you
know.
don't want calls from black people.
No, because, that's true. Because all black people are angry. But the thing is, don't be angry with me. You know it's true. Every black guy who gets himself, a position ends up with a white woman.
You're going to say that, and there's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's crazy. And then, of course, even the white parents can't accept the black athlete. I like that, athlete. Her parents want to adopt Liberace. They would do anything. They don't care. I got to get a tape of that Liberace story, for God's sakes. Oh, that must have been so funny.
Because in that one, they were saying that was the authorized Liberace story because they got to actually wear the authentic garb.
Of Liberace?
This was these were Liberace's furs and his
really?
cars.
I hope they cleaned them real well.
Yes.
Oh, God. Liberace.
I understand that Liberace only was that flamboyant on stage. He used to hang around the house and wear the same clothes for a week and stuff like that. The housekeeper used to have to bribe him to get him out of his clothes so she could wash him and stuff like that.
I love this sound, friend. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, right. We're taking calls today from Washington.
Well, great. I just wanted to let you know, first of all, that your article was on the front page of the style section on Friday, not on the 7th page.
Oh, all right. But it was, first of all, they used, I'm going to call the Washington Post. They used a real old picture. And
I know.
And I had gone to the expense of printing up 50 press photos for $600. Just so they wouldn't use